It's a classic human fantasy, isn't it? To just bend
Let's
time,
travel with time, yeah.
jump forward, maybe see the past. We see it everywhere, films,
Yeah.
books.
There's a staple.
But what if I told you that this idea, this whole concept, maybe isn't just modern sci-fi?
Yeah.
What if it's actually like woven into really ancient stories from Hindu mythology?
Ah, no, that's an interesting angle.
Yeah.
And it brings us, I think, straight to King Kakudmi and his daughter, Princess Revati.
Exactly, them.
And look, this isn't just some, quaint old tale. It's got this extraordinary core idea,
Which
a
is
journey to Lord Brahma's realm up in the heavens, and then they come back to Earth.
simple enough so far.
But not after days or even
Yeah.
years. We're talking unimaginable stretches of time had passed on Earth. Millennia.
Right, it's completely mind-bending. This idea of time dilation, cosmic clocks ticking at different speeds.
It really messes with our everyday sense of how time is supposed to work, a proper cosmic mystery from way back.
Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then. Let's get into this story.
Let's unpack it, see what it tells us about, well, time itself, consciousness maybe.
Sounds good. So first things first, who are these people? Kakudmi and Revati. The sources give us some background.
They do. King Kakudmi, he wasn't just any king, he's from the Ikshvaku dynasty.
The Ikshvaku dynasty. That sounds familiar.
It should. It's a very significant lineage. It's actually the same dynasty that Lord Brahma belonged to.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he's a big deal. A powerful ruler, wealthy, important.
Exactly. Sets the stage. He's got status.
But the heart of the story seems to be his daughter, Revati.
Absolutely. She's described as, well, exceptional. Beautiful, yes, but also wise, graceful.
The king's pride and joy, basically. His most prized possession, as the text puts it.
Which leads us right to the central problem driving the whole thing.
The conflict.
Yeah. Despite all his power, Kakudmi had a very relatable problem, finding the right husband for his amazing daughter.
The matchmaking challenge. Even for kings.
Apparently. And his standards were, shall we say, incredibly high. He just couldn't find anyone on Earth he thought was good enough for Revati.
You can almost imagine him sighing, shaking his head at every candidate.
Right. So he's stuck. Earthly options exhausted. What does he do?
He comes up with a plan that's, well, a bit out there.
Understatement. He basically decides, right, Earth isn't cutting it. We need to go higher.
Literally higher to Brahmaloka.
Exactly. And this is where the story just takes off into the extraordinary.
Because Brahmaloka is.
It's the abode of Lord Brahma, the creator god. And crucially, it's described as being on a higher cosmic plane.
Okay, higher plane. Meaning?
Time works differently there. That's the key. Time flows at a completely different rate compared to Earth.
Got it. So they make this epic journey up to Brahmaloka, and they arrive, and is Brahma waiting with open arms?
Huh. Not quite. It's not like he had them penciled in his diary.
No.
No, the text says Brahma was actually busy. He was engrossed in a musical performance by the Gandharvas, celestial musicians. So Kakudmi and Revati, they have to wait.
They have to queue up for the creator of the universe because he's listening to some tunes.
Pretty much. A divine concert holding things up. A cosmic waiting room.
Okay, so eventually music stops, and Kakudmi gets his audience.
Finally. And he approaches Brahma very respectfully, explains his problem.
Lord Brahma, I've looked everywhere on Earth. Nobody's good enough for my Revati. Help, kind of thing.
Essentially, yes. He's at a dead end with earthly suitors. He needs divine intervention.
And Brahma's response is the kicker.
Oh, absolutely. It's stunning. He doesn't just give him a name or point him somewhere.
What does he say?
He tells Kakudmi, look, in the time it took you to get here and wait for that concert to finish,
Yeah.
countless ages have passed back on Earth.
Countless ages. Just like that.
The entire Yuga, the whole era Kakudmi came from, it's over, gone. They're now in the next age, the Dvapar Yuga.
Whoa, so everyone he knew.
Long dead. Centuries, millennia gone. All those potential suitors he might have considered.
Dust. Just let that sink in. A short wait for them, maybe hours, felt like nothing.
But on Earth, civilizations rose and fell.
That is pure time dilation. The idea that time isn't fixed, it depends on where you are, maybe how fast you're moving.
Or, in this case, maybe which cosmic plane you're on. And what's fascinating, as the source points out, is the parallel to modern physics, to Einstein's theory of relativity.
Seriously, it makes that connection.
Explicitly. It's like, hang on, this idea we think of as 20th century science is right here in this ancient story.
That's incredible. It suggests a kind of cosmic understanding way back
A
then.
very advanced concept, yeah. That time isn't just a steady clock ticking the same everywhere.
Okay, so Brahma drops this time bomb on them. What happens next? They have to go back, right?
They do. But imagine returning. The shock. The utter disorientation.
It wouldn't just be different fashions or language.
No. The scale of change is immense. The texts say the landscape itself was transformed.
Oh.
Mountains had moved. Rivers flowed in different places. The people, the whole civilization, completely alien to them.
It's like landing on a different planet almost.
Effectively, yes. They weren't just visitors from another time, they were relics. Time travelers thrown into a future they couldn't possibly recognize.
And their home, their city.
Gone. Vanished. Wiped away by the ages that had passed while they were, waiting for Brahma.
That's devastating. So they're stranded in this future.
It seems that way. But Brahma doesn't just leave them hanging. He offered a solution before they left Brahmaloka.
Ah, okay. A lifeline.
A final blessing, you could say. He guided them, told them who Revati was destined for in this new age.
And who was that?
He told them to seek out Balarama.
Balarama, Krishna's elder brother.
The very same. He was the one destined to be Revati's husband, according to Brahma.
Okay, so there's a path forward. They have a goal now in this strange new world.
Exactly. Find Balarama. So they set out, and eventually Revati meets him.
And Balarama, what's he like in the story?
He's impressive. Described as tall, incredibly strong, radiant, a powerful figure of the Dvapara Yuga.
Wait, wasn't there still a problem? A mismatch?
Yes. Good point. Revati, being from a much earlier Yuga.
Right, an older age.
She still had the physical characteristics of that time. She was apparently much taller, maybe more luminous than the women of Balarama's time.
So, like, she literally didn't fit in, physically.
Exactly. There was this incongruity. She stood out, literally.
So how did they solve that? Did she just have to slouch?
No. Balarama had a rather unique solution. It's a very curious detail.
Go on.
He takes his plow, which is also sort of his divine weapon or symbol, and he gently touches her shoulder with it, and somehow, through this touch, he adjusts her form, resizes her, essentially. Brings her into physical harmony with the current age, the Dvapara Yuga.
He used his plow to make her shorter.
That's how the story describes it. It's this blend of the divine and the, well, almost practical, a cosmic adjustment.
Wow. That's certainly a unique approach to marital harmony.
It really adds another layer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This idea of needing to align with the current reality, the present time.
It does. So after the adjustment, they get married.
They do. And the story concludes with their union.
But it's more than just a wedding, isn't it? The source framed it differently.
Yes, very insightfully. It's presented not just as two people getting married, but as a union of two timelines.
That's powerful. It brings that whole time travel theme right back to the forefront.
Absolutely. It seals the narrative's core concept.
Which brings us to the big question, really. What do we make of all this?
Exactly. Is it just a fantastic myth? Or is there something deeper going on here? Symbolism, maybe even a hint of science?
Well, that idea of Brahmaloka and the different time flow, you mentioned the texts actually quantify it.
They do. The numbers are staggering. One day of Brahma is said to equal something like 4.32 billion human years.
Billion.
With a B, yes. Which, when you think about modern physics, talking about different dimensions, maybe higher dimensions, where time could theoretically flow differently.
It makes you pause, doesn't it? That resonance between ancient cosmology and modern theoretical physics.
It's definitely thought-provoking. And what about the music?
The Gandharva performance that made them wait.
Yeah. The idea that divine music could suspend time, or at least the awareness of time.
Music certainly can make you lose track of time.
Right. Across cultures, music is often linked to experiencing something beyond the mundane, something eternal. Maybe that music is a metaphor for, I don't know, a state of deep meditation.
Where your perception of linear time just dissolves.
Perhaps. Or maybe Kakudmi's whole journey isn't just physical.
You mean metaphorical?
Could it symbolize an awakening? Consciousness moving beyond the usual tick-tock? Seeing a bigger picture? A reality outside of sequential time?
That's a fascinating way to look at it. Transcending the everyday limits of perception.
And then there's Revati needing to shrink.
The plow incident.
Yes. What could that symbolize? Maybe the need for us all to adapt.
Adapt to changing times.
Exactly. To evolve, to find harmony with whatever reality, whatever yuga we find ourselves in. It's quite a relatable message, actually.
Finding harmony with the present, that does hit home.
So, drawing it all together, what are the big takeaways from this incredible story?
Well, the relativity of time seems huge. It jumps right out. Time isn't absolute.
Definitely. Depends on your context, your location, maybe even your state of being. It's not fixed.
And it hints that maybe human consciousness isn't strictly bound by linear time either.
Yeah, that idea of higher realms, higher vibrations, where divinity might exist outside our usual temporal framework.
It really makes you reconsider how we view mythology, doesn't it? Not just as simple stories.
Not primitive, no, but potentially deeply philosophical, deeply cosmic, just told through narrative.
So the story of Revati and Kakudmi isn't just an old adventure tale.
It could be seen as a reminder. Maybe we're more than just bodies living moment to moment. Perhaps we're souls on a much larger journey.
Traversing cosmic cycles, seeking connection.
Seeking purpose, yeah.
Yeah.
Connection with the divine.
So for people listening today, what's the final thought? We don't have time machines.
Not physical ones, no.
Yeah.
At least not that we know of.
Right.
But maybe this story suggests our own inner tools. The mind, meditation, devotion. Maybe these are our vehicles, our way to explore inner space, perhaps even touch that sense of timelessness or transcendence within ourselves.
Wow. Exploring time not outwardly, but inwardly. That's a really powerful thought to leave things on. Thank you for unpacking all of that.
My pleasure. It's a truly fascinating narrative. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Balarama. Jai Sanatan Dharma.
Indeed. We hope everyone keeps exploring these incredible stories and the wisdom they might hold.